Hello my lovelies, we will be doing a message from the Ravens. Something in me has been activated, sacral and root chakra, but this, I don't know whether it's the planets being in alignment or it's something from childhood that's coming up for me to look at. I don't want to go too personal, but obviously I've been single for a long time now, and yeah, I'm having some really erotic dreams. Let's just call it that, which says to me that something that's been laying dormant is being activated. So I thought, well, let's have a look and see if it's collective. Let's have a look and see if it's a, childhood wound, or it's getting in preparation for coming into union. So we shall ask the Ravens. I hope you can hear me. I know the lighting's not very good because we're still lacking in daylight hours. And it's taken me a while, still being swollen, to get my shit together, shall we say. But this was definitely feeling like we need to have a look, see what's going on with twin flame soulmate, on a romantic level. Message from the Ravens for the collective, from the highest level, highest timeline. What's going on? Energy. Obviously we've just had the full moon as well. Venus is quite prominent, so it could be that. It could be that it's our idea of what love, romance looks like, and then the reality as we're moving into new foundations, if you like, new ways of, the old structures of relationships are changing, and we are clearing out so we have the Star card and the Ace of Swords, which is truth, clarity. It's a new way of thinking, which is what I was kind of getting, is that our basis for relationships are programs that have been going on and on and on and on, and this is the way it should look like in the 3D, but there's clarity coming in. There's a new way of thinking about things. This is what the Ace of Swords represents, a new idea or truth. It represents the truth of. We have the Star card. She is pouring both her cups out. She's got, she's not in the water in this one, but she is pouring out. She is letting go. She's releasing. She's being open to. The Star card represents healing and wish fulfillments, but it's about coming right down to being vulnerable and open, being naked, stripping off ego, anything that is a falsehood, masks, whatever. But with the Star card and the Ace of Swords, I would definitely say that this is a truth coming to light, wish fulfillment, in emptying her cups, these could be 2 cups that didn't serve her. These could be, you know, not every cup that we're offered is, you know, some of it could be poison. Not to be too negative, but she's pouring out. She's letting go of. She's coming back to being vulnerable. And in doing so, it opens up. It's a wish fulfillment. Let's see where this connection... But the clarity is the truth. The clarity is the truth around a situation. And whether we want to believe it or not, the Star card is healing of the highest level. In that we have to strip down and become vulnerable and move into our heart space in order for us to get our wish fulfillments. The masks, the out, everything needs to be dropped, let go of. Now this looks very much like the moon. This is the reflection of, so the trees are blossoming, but it's still nighttime, so it's still in a period of dark night of the soul, if you want to call it. But it's something that the moon has reflected back to us in the water. So although the moon is white, the moon brings things to light. It brings out what's in the shadows of the nighttime. And this reflection of it is actually pink. So it's love. It's the heart chakra. There could have been heart activations going on. But again, you know, along with the Star card, there's both water in this, which represents the emotions. But again, you know, she's pouring out. She's releasing. And this has definitely got this, you know, kind of dark night of the soul, but the moon. But it's the reflection of the moon isn't white, it's pink. So it's bringing anything up that needs releasing for our highest healing under that moon that we just had in Cancer. And things are blossoming. Like, it's very unusual to see flowers, you know, in things came to light, which is the clarity. The bottom of the deck, we've got this, I feel like it's when I see this card, I feel like it's shadow work. It's you move, I move. You move, I move. They're both reflecting each other. So that is either the divine masculine in us, you know, the divine feminine is the light, if you like, and maybe this is shadow work. They're doing the same dance. They're not connected though. So this connection isn't in the 3D. But it's almost like he's following her moves. She moves, he moves. She moves, he moves. That kind of thing. But at the same time, I mean, she's veiled, so she's protected. But he's actually looking down at his own shadow. So whether this is the divine masculine or the divine masculine within us is actually... you know, following the moves of the divine feminine, but actually looking down at his own shadow in the reflection. I'll put my glasses on just to double check that I am seeing what I'm seeing, because where are they? They're always about. Here she goes, wandering off looking for her glasses. Both pairs in the kitchen. And then we've got the shoes. Again, it's the dance. It's this dance. Yeah, he's not looking at her, he's looking down. The candles above him represent that he's being shown his own reflection, but he's moving. He's not wearing trousers, so he could be getting in touch with his divine feminine. She moves and then he moves. There's a dance going on. If this makes sense, let me know. But he's looking down, he's not looking at her. And then we have the shoes underneath it. So again, it's stepping into these new shoes. Stepping into these new shoes to do a new dance, to see things, to have clarity, which obviously the moon brought, in bringing healing to possible patterns of what we believed to be, you know, conditioned relationships. This is what the 3D has made it look like. This is the way it's meant to look like. This is, you know, 2.4 children, marriage, till death do us part. All that preconceived ideas of relationships, statuses, let's see what the, sorry for all the moving around today. Let's see what the romance angels have got to say. They're definitely healing because something came to light, and maybe it was like, you know, this isn't dysfunction. This is dysfunctional. It's not working. But it also is a wish fulfillment. The Star card. It could also be as well, you know, when the stars are aligned. There's that, I'm getting that sort of, you know, it's there's divine timing at work here. The moon obviously had a big shift up, shake up, wake up in bringing something to the surface. It reflected back to us. It brought some clarity. And to be fair, the other picture with the divine feminine, divine masculine, they're not touching each other. He's copying her, but it also could be, you know, reflections of like there isn't a connection there, but you know, I'm just copying what you're doing, or I'm saying what you want to hear. Maybe that was the clarity that was brought to light. And that's what needs emptying. Not all cups given are given, you know, they're not in alignment with us. Let's see what the old romance angels have to say about this. This is the moon, reflection, healing, getting to know each other. So again, the Star card is about being open, being vulnerable, actually going right into the heart space. And when I see getting to know each other, as you reveal your inner selves to each other, your bond deepens. So it is about becoming, and that's what the Star card is, it's being stripped down naked. You know, these are my fears, these are my hopes, these are my desires. And as we reveal our innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens, getting to know each other. So again, I mean, he's all suited up. There's cherubs above. And she's, I mean, it's a very old kind of card, but they are communicating. They are revealing stuff. So there's a lot of reveal clarity going on here. We've got codependency at the bottom. So again, like I said, these cups that she's emptying, cups that, you know, no longer fill her, and she's got 2 cups in her hand there, are either could represent codependencies that she's had on other people, or, you know, that she's letting go of, that she's being open to. This is what the moon may have reflected back. You know, these cups aren't serving you. I'm emptying out. I'm becoming open and vulnerable. You know, even just acknowledging the fact that a lot of relationships are based on codependency. Addictions are affecting your love life, but that doesn't necessarily mean addictions to drugs. I mean, it could mean drugs and alcohol, but codependency is when we are codepending on receiving something outside of ourselves to make us feel happy. And this is obviously what's being poured out under this moon. There was clarity in this. Where am I codependent? Where, you know, the clarity is in doing the healing, emptying those cups, and communicating that as well. Let's see if we get anything else. Oh, I'll go back to the ravens. So we've got the Star card and the moon, and getting to know each other, which is obviously being honest and open and vulnerable. This fell out on the moon, so it was the 7 of Swords. So that's what probably came to light under this reflection in the moon, parting the waves. The 7 of Swords, as you can see, the raven has grabbed the mouse. The 7 of Swords has got 2 messages with it. It's about being very highly mentally adept in working out your opponent, whatever partner. But in this, when I look at this, and it fell out on the moon, this is calling out robber mice. This is being able to decipher when somebody is using manipulation rather than putting their mental abilities to work. I mean, the picture says it all. I've called out the mouse, something eating away at us. 7 of Swords. It's I always think when I see the 7 of Swords, it's calculated movements, and that's come out under the moon. This is what's being poured out. This is the healing that's taking place, to be able to recognize when there's Seven of Swords going on. Give us something else. Again, this fell out on the moon and the Seven of Swords, which is, I don't know if it's the Queen, it's not the Queen of Cups, it's Temperance. So it's getting in the flow. It's removing anything, and it's the waters are flowing there, the waters are pouring out there. It's Temperance. Past, present, future, getting in line, getting in balance, getting in flow with possibly the moon. Listening to what's coming up with the moon. Again, she's completely and utterly, you know, in balance, grounded. The water is pouring from one jug to the other, but she's not looking at it. She doesn't need to look at it. It's a case of this raven has taken out the mice, taken out the things that are eating away at us, nibbling away at us, things that aren't in alignment with us. And Temperance represents being in the flow, being in the flow of past, present, future. It also means getting your ducks in order. But if we're looking at it romantically, which we are, it's like I am in the flow of giving and receiving. Needs to be in equal measure. We've got the Nine of Swords at the bottom, so this is obviously something that was keeping us awake at night, possibly. Indecisiveness. That one fell on the floor. So that's the Eight of Wands. So the Eight of Wands, it flew right over there. So the Eight of Wands is expansion. Now, when we think of expansion, this is expansion in romantically in the heart space. When we let go, pour out, strip down, become vulnerable, we expand. When we change our thought patterns, I don't know where the ace has gone, but when we change our thought patterns or take responsibility for where we may be codependent, or when we have people, this is like calling out somebody who's been codependent on us. I'm going to take you out. You're a robber mouse. We then expand. This is a card of expansion. New things coming in. New opportunities coming in. Don't feel like I'm really ready. So the Four of Cups is a little bit of boredom. Four of Cups is again, it's like a healing period, but he's just sitting by the tree, the raven's watching him, there's no movement. He's feeling a little bit like stuck or bored, or there's nothing going on. Four of Cups underneath, getting to know each other. So it could be that there's been this Four of Cups is a little bit of a withdrawal of you know, being open, and it's definitely boredom. It's definitely you know, stagnant energy. He's got this cup sat next to him, but he's not looking at it. It's like, I don't want to look at it. I'm not gonna, I just want to sit and, I don't know, if he looks a bit sorry for himself, really. It can be also a bit stubborn. But we have the Knight of Cups coming in. The Knight of Cups coming in, holding this cup up in his hand. So there's an offer coming forward, and it came under well, it fell on my lap, but it came under temperance. So this Four of Cups energy could be this like, oh, you know, I want something to happen, nothing's happening. It's a little bit of a healing card, but there is an offer coming in. Now, Knights are normally represent I mean, it's an offer of a cup. I've got this cup. It's up to us to decide what's in this cup. Knights are quite young, as in, not as in age, but as in it's an early beginning of youthful, possibly offering coming forward. And underneath that we have the Ten of Pentacles. So this could actually grow into Ten of Pentacles. I've got this offer. And again, you know, getting to know each other. We don't have to drink from every cup that's offered, because sometimes if we are codependent, we will drink from every cup that's offered, and often find that let's just say there's no such thing as knights in shining armor. And if this offer is coming in, it's important to get to know each other first, rather than just go, right, I'll have that, I'll drink that, and then find out later, you know, that it wasn't in alignment with you, which is what I feel with the Temperance card. Let's get some messages from the angels. So this situation requires emotional maturity. Now, as I was saying, the Knight of Cups isn't necessarily emotionally mature, but it could represent the beginning of. So that's something that is like the Knight of Cups will then grow into the King of Cups, but he's definitely coming in with an offer. And total trust. You're surrounded by those who only have the best intentions, so you can rely on the advice you're given. Challenges will be resolved. This card also indicates a generous, humanitarian and refined person who can be completely dependent on. This card could be a reference to these characters within yourself. So again, this is stripping down to the Star card and saying you and having a good old look at you know, the guardian of emotion. Being emotionally mature, which is not being codependent on people outside of yourselves, but knowing that we have everything within ourselves. Messenger of abundance. Let's carry on with these. Like I say, this could have come out under the moon. And to be honest, the more work we do on ourselves, and we understand that everything outside of us, if it triggers us, or it's a reflection of the work that we need to do inwardly. And then once we do that, we have we get fine-tuned to knowing when a cup comes in, whether it's going to be, we'll be able to feel it out. Unfortunately, it means going through lessons of, like I say, there's no such thing as knights in shining armour. Knights in shining armour, in my own experience, are opportunists that come along when we're possibly at our lowest, and you know, we get love bombed or whatever. We meet This fell out upside down. So we tend to, we do the inner work. We've got to do the inner work in order to actually attract something that's in alignment, temperance and balance with ourselves. This doesn't happen when we're in a state of codependency or when we're in a state of looking for something outside of ourselves. Right, so this came out upside down and it's a number 4 and it says organisation. Your plans are on target and everything will flow more smoothly if you add a little organisation and discipline to your methods. The key to success is to allow your creativity to be gently guided by logic. Be open to asking for help from someone who's very intellectual or seeking out a mentor. But it came out upside down. So to me, with it being the 4 as well, which is normally foundations, so we've got 2 lots of 4 there. We've got the 4 of Cups and this 4 of organisation. Whatever it was that, whatever it was that got taken out wasn't organised. It came out upside down. It came out like it was disorganised, like it's, I've got to plug in because I don't want to have to do this all again. Oh, some days things run smoothly and some days they don't. Stand the fridge making noises in the background, so I'm going to plug this in so we don't lose connection. Bump. Are we in? Are we on? Are we, because I'm liking this one, so I'm just going to carry on going. So yeah, this is possibly what got taken out. Anything that wasn't keeping you in the flow, or even ourselves. It's a number 4, but it's upside down. It didn't have the organisation. It didn't have things flowing smoothly. There was lack of discipline, blocks in creativity, no logic. So that came out upside down. Now, the bottom of the deck, we've got the 6 of emotions. Now, this tells me this is inner child work. Memories can fill your heart with many emotions. It's important to remember your past accurately without seeing it as better or worse than it was. People you used to know may return unexpectedly. Children could be an important issue, or you may need to reconnect with your inner child. So this is what it's telling me, is that the moon has brought up inner child work that weren't based on solid foundations. And there needs to be an opening, there's some healing going on of pouring that out underneath this moon. And getting back into the flow and calling out these, you know, unfortunately, opportunists can smell people who have this, weren't loved properly as a child, is what I'm trying to say, and they can, you know, they can kind of smell it out. 10 of abundance. Heaven has provided you with so many blessings. Your family members are bonded and working together. The children are provided for, and the comfortable retirement will one day come along. You've taught your family the grace that comes from knowing right from wrong, and you should be very proud. So that again is, it's inner childhood work to build or to start building, or you are building strong foundations so that it gets passed down. But it doesn't necessarily mean, you know, like I say, this like whole, you know, you have to marry the first person that comes along and buy a house and get a mortgage and buy a car. You know, these foundations of generational patterns do and have left us, this our generation, the generation before, have left generations becoming codependent on these idealistic ideas of what families should look like and what they're based upon. I mean, it goes back, you know, hundreds of years where people didn't get married for love. They got married for status. And then if you didn't receive that, so it's definitely inner child work. But somebody is copying what work you're doing by looking at their own shadow. Are we ready to move on? Should we get some, I've done a lot of flapping around, I'm hoping the battery's working. Get some insights from the psychic universe. I think that's, oh, we've got two more here. Helper of emotion. Romance blooms and you find yourself falling in love. Gifts of flowers, love letters, poems read aloud are all in your future. Marriage proposals, weddings and past life connections are possible. Someone new who is romantic, dreamy and emotional may enter your life. This person could be an artist who's an idealistic about love. So this could be this Knight of Cups. But this also, like I've always said, comes back down to us. So we, as you know, if we can be romantic ourselves. We can fall in love with ourselves, we can gift ourselves, we can write poems and letters to ourselves. But it does look like something's coming in. And life is wonderful. Your hard work and dedication to your dreams will provide you with great peace and contentment. Take time to enjoy quiet moments of reflection and leisure. Feel free to buy yourself small luxury gifts. You've earned the financial security and independence you now enjoy. So again, that's about standing on your own 2 feet, not looking outside of ourselves for this, you know, romantic thing to come in, which is codependency. I'm waiting for something to come along to fulfill something that's missing within myself. This is like, yes, you know, you can do that yourself, and you've earned the right to by doing the work. The 7 of emotion. Your angels are asking you to make an important decision that you've been putting off. It's likely that you know which choice you should make, but you're procrastinating so you don't upset someone else. So again, it's if you've got people who are codependent on you, it's time to call it out, call it off. Ask heaven for guidance and then make the choice that celebrates who you are. The Star. Celebrate who you are. The star in your own show, the star in your own life. Getting in alignment. I'm going to pull one more from the Psychic Tarot. And then we shall close with a rose. So there is an offer coming in. It's like I say, there was lack of organisation. It was upside down. There was not strong foundations, probably codependency going on. There's healing. Getting to know each other means being open. This is how I honestly feel. Number 4, discontent and boredom. So that's the 4 of Cups. Discontent and boredom. Not enough. Lack of. That is what that is. There was lack of a solid foundation. Lack of sincerity, you know, manipulation going on, discontent and boredom. He's on his way, but this is in the heart space. And that again, that landed on top of the 4, which was upside down. So the foundations went there, discontentment and boredom. And then recognition. Oh, sorry. Recognition and reward. So again, that's the Star card. It's like shining. It's number 3 as well. But it's shining down on him. But there's recognition and reward for doing the work. And again, it's that red. It's the solid foundations that he's looking down on. He's put his hands down. He's looking down on those solid foundations that he's building. Awareness at the bottom. You know, it's recognition and reward for walking away from anything that doesn't serve us, that puts us out of alignment of temperance, which is in the flow of, you know, that's what the moon, the message of the moon, especially in Cancer, would have brought so much of that to light, to get us back into the flow, into alignment with our highest timeline and our highest selves. It would have called out spiritual strength. Number 9, it would have called out anything that was, that's it, taking it out. You got a robber mouse around you. Let's take it out. Spiritual strength, number 9. I mean, that's it. It's the higher self. The higher self coming in, calling it out, and asking us to trust our higher selves, our gut instinct. If something feels off, it's off. If we've had, you know, I mean, it does get complicated when we've had past trauma and we're worried about, you know, projecting our past trauma onto other places, people, situations. But the strength, the spiritual strength, comes in recognizing what's ours, what we need to heal and what isn't. And like I said, opportunists come along when we're normally at our lowest ebb. They tend to be able to, I'm your hero. There is no such thing as knights in shining armour, and there's heartache and loss at the bottom of the deck. So this is something, again, that was brought to light. We've had to let go of it. Okay, so I'm going to close with a rose. Sorry about all the interruptions. Is what it is. Let's close with a rose. playing up a little bit. Excuse me, maybe we're not done. Oh, there we go. Now this came out sideways. Lineage of the rose, moved by the goddess, here for this, soul call and gather. It came out sideways. It came out underneath spiritual strength, temperance, and the Knight of Cups. So there's lineage of the rose, moved by the goddess. So like I say, this is something that's been, it's, you know, we've got years and years and years of stuff that needs destructing and rebuilding and rethinking, replanning, different ways of being. Here for the soul, call. So it's a calling to gather your tribes, come together. Let's see what was at the bottom of the deck. The bud, it's potential, promise, it's about to happen, keep going. Okay, I'm gonna actually just get my fairy tale ones out. Just wanna see if I just, whilst I was doing those, I had this feeling that there was something else that needed to come out. So we'll just have a look. But yeah, discontentment, boredom, not based on solid foundations. And the star is it's healing. It's time to heal. If a cup comes in, what you got in that cup? Let's have a look. It's very, you know, there's a lot of people that can talk the talk, but they've got to be able to walk the walk. Do what it says on the tin. And if they don't, you know, if there's patterns that keep repeating themselves, then, you know, because to be vulnerable and open from the heart space, obviously, yes, you are not leaving yourself open, but we need to get to a point in our own knowing when we can call out, you know, when we feel like we're being manipulated or taken advantage of, and that's boundaries. The moon, 8 of Hearts. So yeah, this was all being brought to light. There's a carriage here with some horses and they're heading towards the castle. So this is what, I don't know why I felt the need to get that out, but it's 32, which is 5, which is change. The moon actually changed everything. It brought clarity. It brought light onto the subject. And that looks like the Chariot. It's like, right, that's it. You know, this is the direction I'm taking. This is the way I'm moving forward. Everything needs to be out in the open. I love you lots.